What you're about to listen to is a Bry-Fy production.
Comic book reviews. 50 nerd news. Heroes versus villains.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bry-Fy podcast. I'm your host, Bry-Fy the Comics Guy, and we finally made it. It's the end of 2016, the Best Of podcast. It's the podcast where we just talk about the best comic books, just kind of what's happened over the year. I know 2016's kind of been more like 2016 as far as we're all concerned with all the celebrity deaths that we've had this year, but you know, I look back on my life personally, and there's been a lot of good. You know, I got to read a lot of comics. I got to have my first full year being a father to my son who turned a year old this year. I mean, it's been crazy. It's been great. It's been exhausting. It's been a lot of just 2016 has been its own year, man. This is definitely one that I'm going to remember for better or for worse, to death do us part. Well, actually, probably poor choice of words there with, you know, all the celebrity deaths. But anyway, this podcast, we're going to go over some comic book reviews very quickly. We'll get into a bit of nifty nerd news, just more of recollecting, and then we'll talk to the meat and potatoes of 2016 of this year, which includes all those that we have lost and some new comic book series that we have gained this year. So there's some things to look forward to. So without further ado, let's get on with the comic books that I had to review for this week. Okay, for this week's episode, we're going to review 4 comics: Darth Vader issue number 24, Howard the Duck issue number 10, Miss Marvel issue number 11, and Power Man and Iron Fist issue number 7. So let's start off with Darth Vader this year. What the hell am I talking about? I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, so basically, Vader was deactivated by Silo 5. Of course, being deactivated, it's kind of like he died in a way. I don't know, but he was in this weird deactivated limbo kind of state, and we just really get to see how conflicted he is between the light and dark side, between his past and his present. Some really interesting stuff, really cool stuff, you know. He's able to will his way back to life, I guess, by using the Force, and ends up killing Silo 5, which then turns on Silo 6. And it's all kind of, it's clones and crazy and everything, but it's pretty awesome. And now Vader is off to end it all. Of course, Dr. Aphra makes a bold move in this issue to save herself by going to see the Emperor, which kind of sounds counterproductive. You know, he's kind of like the big bad of the whole thing. But I guess Emperor versus Darth Vader, you're hoping to play to the Emperor's good bad side. I don't know what the hell she's doing, but she's got an idea. As far as Darth Vader's been concerned, especially in this issue, artwork is fantastic. Love the way that they do everything. Love the way that the characters are portrayed. I've loved it. It's been like this all series, man. It's been amazing. The story has been great. It's been interesting. Up to this point, it is by far one of the best Star Wars books out there. It's heavily one of the best books out there. It just, I mean, hell, man. Everyone that I talk to is always just gushing and loving on it. As far as the rating goes for this one, I give it an A. Moving on, we have Howard the Duck issue number 10, which is not a Civil War II tie-in. Woo! Because, you know, pretty much every Marvel book has been a Civil War II tie-in. Luckily, they haven't been. So, turns out Howard's life has been in the hands of others. And by others, I mean 2 little purple dudes that kind of look like Thanos's weaker, weird cousins, Chip and Joe. Now, oddly, they share a name with Chip Zdarsky and Joe Quinones, the writer and artist of the book, and obviously that's who they're based off of. And so we get to see others from the Marvel writer-artist team universe that are depicted as these weird Thanos-like purple beings. I don't know. It's interesting, but kind of cool. And it's funny, man. I mean, that's what's been great about Howard the Duck. It's just been so funny. It's been so meta. It's been everything that I've wanted in a comic book that just makes fun of itself, but still being a very interesting story, you know. Chip and Joe travel to Earth to try to take care of the problems that they've caused themselves with Howard that's now causing problems for them. And chaos ensues with Howard versus Mojo, who's been in play because he's reaping off the benefits of Howard's life by televising it across like universes and stuff like that. It's crazy, it's convoluted, but it's amazing. So Howard takes his frustrations out on the Chip character, but then things get crazy, and then things get really sad. As far as Howard the Duck issue number 10 goes, the writing has been hilarious. It's been funny. It's even more hilarious to see Chip, Joe, and all the other people. I think Ryan North, Erica, who do Squirrel Girl are in the book. It's just really funny to see all that. And then some really meaningful things happen here. So, I mean, it's just kind of crazy how, like, funny this book is, but then how serious this book is. Artwork has been solid as it's been all series long. And I have no complaints as far as anything goes with Howard the Duck. As far as the rating goes, give it an 8. Up next, we have Miss Marvel, issue number 11, which is a Civil War II tie-in because, of course, everything. And her biggest, she's got a huge fan crush on Captain Marvel, so of course it's going to be a Civil War II tie-in. Bruno's been put in a coma. Basic Becky, who's been really evil and in charge of these Junior League of Defenders type people who are pre-prisonering people so they don't pre-commit pre-crimes and all this other pre-stuff. So she's pretty much mad with power. And Kamala is just pretty much mad with rage because she's blaming Becky for everything that's happened and why Bruno's in a coma. So Miss Marvel, Kamala, teams up with the Canadian Ninja Mafia, our syndicate, and tries to bring down Carol Danvers and the whole pre-Justice Junior League department. And I mean, it goes crazy. And Carol shows up. Tony Stark shows up because Kamala called him in too, called both of them in because she's trying to confront her with everything that's happening. And he's like, she tells Captain Marvel, look, I don't like the way things are going. I don't like how this is happening to you. And I mean, she even goes there. She says, this isn't going to bring Rhodey back. Of course, Rhodey, War Machine, died as a result of everything that happened. And so, of course, Carol's taking it hard. And, I mean, should Kamala gone there? Probably not. Should she have gotten the Canadian Ninja Syndicate to team up and cause mayhem? Probably not. She was trying to prove a point. She was upset. I mean, things happen. But basically now Kamala's trying to set things right. But just because you set things right doesn't always make things right. And that's a tough lesson that Kamala learns in this issue. Art's been great in this story, but, I mean, the story has really shined out. At first, I was a little down on the reboot of Miss Marvel series from all the Secret War stuff to the new one, but things have gotten really, really good with where they've gone with Civil War II. Civil War II, I think, has helped the book out a lot, where that might not be the case for all Marvel comics, but I think Miss Marvel has definitely used Civil War II to its advantage. As far as the rating goes for this issue, I give it a B. And then the last book we have to talk about is Power Man and Iron Fist, issue number 7, which is also another Civil War II tie-in, because duh. So Danny is locked up in jail, and Luke is freaking out about it. He's enlisted the help of some criminals, not masterminds, but just some, street-level criminals to help him bust Danny out of jail. How well is that going to go? We're not sure. Jessica Jones and Luke do learn more about the vigilantes that are using this pre-justice identifying tablet thing to find find past criminals who have maybe reformed or people who might potentially be criminals, and it's putting them up in jail. So it kind of sucks, kind of dumb. Just they're doing stupid, they're trying to be good vigilantes, but they're being stupid vigilantes, and I hate it. Luke begins to set things in motion that even the bad dudes that are helping him are kind of maybe you should calm down with that. Of course, those things that he's setting in motion now got the interest of Carol Danvers, and she's taking notice and about to head off Luke because he could be potentially setting up for a disaster. At least that's what they believe. Everything's been going pretty well with Power Man and Iron Fist. I really like the Civil War II spin on things. It isn't too heavy on Civil War II, but it shows things at the street level, which I like. I really enjoy street level things and street level heroes. The only issue that I have with this the only problem that I have with this issue, it does 2 artists, and I don't know, it's kind of weird. It does one artist does Danny's side of things and the other one does Luke's side of things, which is all cool. I dig that. Miss Marvel even has 2 artists and they do it really well. I just thought it was kind of weird the way that it was done in this issue. I don't know, it just kind of alternated back and forth, and just it was kind of weird to me in a way. I don't know. I had a problem with it. The story, though, has been pretty good. I've enjoyed it. It's been entertaining. As far as the rating goes for this issue, though, I give it a C+. Well, that wraps it up for the comic books I had to review for this week. Actually, the last comic book.